What would you do if the voice whispering, "I miss you already," wasn't meant for you, but came through your phone at 2:13 a.m. while your wife slept beside you? The screen glowed in the dark, her name lighting up my lock screen like it always had for years. Safe, familiar, mine. But the voicemail icon blinked red. I didn't remember missing a call. I didn't remember anything unusual. Just the silence of the room, the hum of the ceiling fan, and her soft breathing next to me. I pressed play. There was a pause, a rustle. Then her voice. Low, warm, intimate in a way I hadn't heard in months. "I wish you didn't have to leave so soon. I hate going back to him after being with you." My chest locked. A man chuckled in the background. And then she whispered something that turned my blood cold. "I'll call you when he falls asleep again tomorrow." The message cut off. She shifted beside me, unaware or pretending to be. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. This wasn't a mistake. It was a crack in something far bigger. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. I didn't wake her. That's the part that still surprises me. I just lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, replaying her voice over and over in my head until the words stopped sounding like English and started sounding like something poisonous. Morning came like nothing had happened. She stretched, yawned, kissed my cheek. "Morning, babe." Babe. I studied her face like it belonged to a stranger. Same freckles, same soft eyes, same woman I'd married 6 years ago in a courthouse in downtown Chicago. "Morning," I said. I didn't mention the voicemail. Not yet. Instead, I watched. That day, she moved differently. Subtle things. Her phone never left her hand. She angled the screen away from me. Laughed at texts she didn't explain. Took longer in the bathroom. I started noticing things I'd ignored before. Late nights with coworkers. Weekend spa days that always came with vague receipts. A sudden interest in dressing up, but not for me. And the coldness. That was the worst part. She wasn't just distant. She was irritated by me. Like my presence was an inconvenience. "Do you have to hover all the time?" she snapped one night when I walked into the kitchen. Hover. In my own house. I started digging. Quietly. I checked phone records first. Unknown numbers repeating at odd hours. Long calls during times she claimed she was busy. I followed her one Thursday. She said she was going to a client meeting near West Loop. Instead, I watched her car pull into a parking garage off West Madison Street. She didn't go into an office building. She walked straight into a boutique hotel, the Emily. And she wasn't alone. He met her at the entrance. Tall, confident. The kind of guy who thought the world owed him something. They didn't hesitate. They kissed like it wasn't their first time. I stayed in my car, hands gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles went white. Something inside me cracked that day, but it didn't shatter. It hardened. That's when I stopped being a husband and started becoming something else. I hired a private investigator the next morning. Within a week, I had everything. Photos, videos, hotel logs, text transcripts. His name was Ryan. Married too. 2 kids. They'd been seeing each other for 8 months. 8 months of lies. 8 months of me sleeping next to a stranger. I should have confronted her. Screamed. Thrown things. Asked why. But I didn't. Because by then, I wasn't interested in answers. I was interested in consequences. I met with a lawyer downtown, glass office overlooking the river. I laid everything out. He leaned back, impressed. "This is thorough. I want everything," I said. "House, assets, reputation." He nodded slowly. "You'll get it." And then I started setting the stage. I acted normal. Better than normal. I brought her flowers. Cooked dinner. Smiled more. She noticed. "Why are you being so nice?" she asked one night, suspicious. I shrugged, trying to be a better husband. She almost looked guilty. Almost. Meanwhile, I coordinated everything. Her parents, his wife, mutual friends, even her boss. I invited them all to a celebration dinner. Anniversary, I said. Private room. Upscale restaurant on Michigan Avenue. She wore a red dress that night. The one I used to love. She smiled at everyone, played the part perfectly. Halfway through dinner, I stood up, tapped my glass. "I just want to say something," I began. She looked at me, confused. I pulled out my phone, connected it to the restaurant's audio system, and hit play. Her voice filled the room. "I hate going back to him after being with you." Silence crashed over the table. Her face drained instantly. "What are you doing?" she whispered. I didn't stop. Photos appeared next, mirrored on the private room screen. Hotel entries. Kisses. Timestamps. Ryan's wife gasped. Her boss stared in disbelief. Her father looked like he'd been punched in the chest. You've been lying to everyone, I said calmly. For 8 months. She started shaking. This isn't what it looks like. Save it, I cut in. Ryan's wife stood up and slapped him so hard the sound echoed. People were staring now. The entire restaurant watching. My wife reached for me. Please, we can talk about this. I stepped back. No, we're done talking. By the next week, everything collapsed around her. Her job terminated her. Ethical violations. Her family cut her off. Ryan filed for divorce and blamed her for everything. I filed mine with evidence so airtight she didn't even contest it. She lost the house, the savings, everything. I saw her once more, outside a small apartment complex on the south side. She looked smaller, like life had shrunk her. I never thought you'd do this to me, she said. I looked at her for a long moment. You already did it to yourself. And I walked away. Now, months later, I sit alone in a quiet apartment. No pictures, no memories on the walls, just silence. Sometimes, late at night, I think about that voicemail. That moment, everything changed. And I realized something. The worst part wasn't losing her. It was realizing she was never really mine to begin with. The end.